on this rap-ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list. Hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu. And I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody's south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and ponder getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. Me? I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That Dre season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my own flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on to the hearse. Party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably crack in my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete. I'm a verbal athlete, deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building. My whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's definitely on now. We're on over here, and so they can only hear me, and now they can see me. You know, it must be Feel Good Friday, and I'm here pressing the buttons all by myself. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. My name is Omari Salisbury, and yeah, we're figuring it out here. Why don't you go and close that door right there, Ibra, so we don't get that echo. You know what? It's Friday. Alia D'Alessandro is off again today, so that means that you guys are left to the devices of me and Jake Gravbrot and intern Ibrahim to try to figure it out. I want to welcome you to the Morning Update Show. I want to remind you right now is a perfect time to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with those who you feel will benefit from culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in our very own Emerald City. Got a great show lined up for you today. It said Feel Good Friday. I'm going to be joined by my partner in crime, Dre's. You just heard his track right here. You know, it's funny, somebody told me, it's like, man, the intro's too long. You know what I'm saying? And I was explaining like, nah, you want the intro to kind of be longer because, when you go live, you give people a chance to come in live and this and that. But then I was also like, you go ahead and ask Dre's where you want his song cut. Or you just go play the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, Jake Gravbrot, who put that intro together, he wasn't cut nothing. He ain't want to have that conversation with Dre's. But we're joined by Dre's here in a few minutes. We're also joined by Besa Gordon. It's time for another episode of the Rewind with Besa at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So Besa is going to chime in with us. And also in studio today is Teacher Appreciation Week. Can we get a wide shot, Jake Gravbrot? There she is. You guys have heard me talk about this woman since almost day one of the Morning Update show. This is my elementary school teacher, Barbara Nilsson, almost 4 decades ago. And you're in the bed. How are you?
I'm great. I'm absolutely wonderful. This is scary, but fun. And I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, not as scary as some of them field trips we used to go on.
Well, that's true, too. That is true. We did go on some cool field trips.
All right, so we're gonna have a good time here today. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know I like to keep it. Like to keep it real and everything. And Barbara Nilsson has such an impact on my life, and it is a blessing to be here on the Morning Update show. And to be able to uplift her and to uplift all these teachers. You know, we talk about education, and the teachers kind of get caught in the wayside. You know what I'm saying? They get caught. It's all a superintendent, a school board, it's this and that, everything.
Right.
We forget about the teachers. A lot of people, they pack their lunch, they go to work and work hard every day for decades.
That's where the rubber meets the road.
All right, good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna jump into well, hold on. Before I bring in Dre's here, I think we have some standing items here that let me just bring up real quick. It's important. Once again, Lumen Field Event Center, Rainier Beach and West Seattle vaccination sites now accepting patients without appointments. So go ahead and get that vaccination. You know, I mean, I'm not just whatever. If you want the vaccination, go get it, man. Let me put this slide up here one more time. Lumen Field Event Center, Rainier Beach, and West Seattle vaccination sites now accepting patients without appointments. So again, and that's from the mayor's office here. If you want a vaccination, man, go out there. You can pop up, literally go get it popping. And you can go get the vaccination. One or two more things here, and don't have a graphic for it, so I'll just mention a big shout out, KBCS 91.3 over at Bellevue Community College. I want to say thank you to them for they carry a lot of our shows, so people they hear our show on the radio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, they hear us on the radio.
Over the intercom?
Well, no. I mean, they actually got a big radio machine over in Bellevue, and you can hear it really from almost from Vancouver to Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
No, it's really big, and so they carry us over there. So big shot there. And also the other thing is you can now listen to the Morning Update show anywhere you listen to podcasts. So all your favorite podcast platforms, you can listen to the Morning Update show. So that's SoundCloud, Spotify, Google, and iHeart, and everything else. So you can check that out. All right. Let me bring in my buddy here, my partner in crime. Where's he? Dre's. What's up, man? How are you?
Man, I'm looking, feeling good. I got on my sweatshirt, look like money. You know what I'm saying? One of the homies in the town. This is line, so I wanted to represent, you know?
How come you always? I mean, I'm the last person to get the gear, bro.
You know what? Though? Hey,
we must not look like money over. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect opportunity to remind you to please donate to Converge, where we converge /donate. Because apparently we don't even qualify for gear that says look like money. So we need more donations.
You know what? I'm coming home next week and I'm delivering look like money sweatshirts. It ain't even my love, but I'm delivering them to you.
Do your part. Do your part. All right, Dre. So first of all, you know, I mean, we work with you on so many different levels, and we work with you as a recording artist, and people hear that track. And you know it's crazy, right? I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not gonna put nobody's names out there, but it's been at least 3 different elected officials who have come here to this studio, and we hear, I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the, and I'm like, yo, if Dre's only knew, you know what I'm saying? But for people who don't know this, Dre's is the artist there of our introductory song, our intro song, Seattle Zone. So we deal with you as an artist. We deal with you as a TV producer and director because you have the show Building Black Wealth. We also deal with you as a community activist. I mean, and all these things is dope because it's kind of like, you know, who you are as a person, multi-dimensional. So again, welcoming you back here to the Morning Update Show.
Hey man, I appreciate you, man, even showing me love, because you guys don't know. O was just like, he was on my head about my backdrop. He was like, "Yo, why you ain't got a better?" I'm in the office, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get a new backdrop because the last 2 times I've done interviews with you, I feel like you've been taking shots at my backdrops. So I gotta go get. It's a Zoom world, so I better go get something fly. So next time you see me, man, I'm gonna get some artwork from the town.
We hold you to that. We holding you to that.
Okay. I like it.
Hey, but we got you here today, though. Well, actually, let's. Well, I'll throw it out there, and then we'll talk about it. And we'll get to it, and we'll play some video stuff. We got you out here today because you have a single release, right?
Yeah, new single titled Born to Win just dropped at midnight. I'm super excited about it. A real big thing that just happened is Release Radar from Spotify just put the single up. And for those who don't know, there's like 2 big playlists on Spotify for new music. And so we made that up there with Snoop Dogg and Mozzie and all of the other dope rappers around the West Coast and the world. So we debuted on there with a 3rd song on there. So I'm saying to everybody, if you like this track, man, play it, add it to your playlist. I've been up since 4 a.m. doing interviews over in Zimbabwe because they're playing the song, and now I'm up here doing Converge. So it's just dope. It's a great energy, and that's what this song is all about, right? It's mixing. I have a new sound where I'm blending Zimbabwean cultural music with hip hop to create a sound that I call ancestral art. So it's Zimbabwean at heart, but it was birthed right in the Northwest, you know?
You know, and just so our audience knows, I'm multitasking today. So I'm the host, but I'm also live directing here, pushing buttons. So if someone sees my head down, I'm not playing Candy Crush over here. I'm actually we're doing the most. I'm pulling this up. You know, we had a lot of stuff. I asked you for some headlines to talk about and everything else, but then I'm hearing you talk about this. I'm looking at the clock, and I want to go a bit deeper in this. Why don't you explain? Because we're gonna play a snippet of your video here in a minute. But you just brought up something. You're like, oh, Zimbabwe and this and that. And some people in the viewing audience might be like, man, that's the homie Dre's. You just had the track Irony on 23rd, mini track since then or whatever. And now you just threw in Zimbabwe. Yeah. You know, what's it all about?
So my mother and father are from Zimbabwe. Credited with bringing Zimbabwean music to America. Laura Luciora, most of the people in the hood, if you learned African dance, you probably got it from my mom or somewhere around that family tree. But they gave it to me, and it's something that I've always played, marimbas and beatas, just a completely different style of energy musically. And so when I started thinking creatively about what I wanted to do with music, I'm not going to come back and give you the Irony on 23rd again, right? We did that. I wanted to continue to elevate and do something different. So this album is all Zimbabwean music fused with hip hop. If you heard Building Black Wealth and you like that, that was actually supposed to be the first single off the album, but COVID hit. And so I couldn't even do anything. It was like, I put that song out, COVID hit, and I was like, oh snap, what do we do? So we just chilled for a year. So now we're back. Ready to put this album out and do something special. Oh, and shout out to Owarunga because he's on the new track, Born to Win, and so is King Zashe, who is my little cousin from Zimbabwe, but he's on there and he's a terror. He's got a cold voice. You guys already know O's dope. So it's a African collaboration, African American collaboration. In fact, man. So I can't wait for y'all to hear it. And this is gonna be the first time the video is seen here in America, like right here on Converge. I ain't been nowhere else. I was like, I want to bring it to my people and my people play it.
You put some pressure on the platform now. Huh? this is I mean, you know, this is the best thing about can you go wide over here real quick, Jake, so I can explain. And by the way, Dre, you got anybody go to Summit?
Nah, man. I was Nah, nobody
You
went
know,
to Sunday.
them last names is ringing some bell. I mean, clearly they're hitting some marimbas. In my
Wait
head.
a minute, though. Wait a minute, because I need to ask Mrs. Nielsen. I'm glad we have her here. Was Omari always a hothead? You know what I mean? Because the way he is, the guy's a hothead in the hood. Was he always like this?
Yes.
Hold your mic, T.
Yes, he was.
He was.
Yeah,
I
but
knew it.
that's a plus.
Yeah, you
Because
heard that?
If he wasn't a hothead, then we wouldn't have been able to make the strides that we did.
You heard that?
Between me and his mom,
Hey, so basically what I hear her saying is the same thing as the title track of this song, which was I was born to win.
My mama went from Butare to Seattle. Now they love me from Seattle to Harare. Guess you could say I'm born to win.
Ndinoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingatadzi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa 'Cause my hitters don't die and real hitters gon' shine and my people gon' rise 'Cause we're born to win, yeah. I ain't saying
How the hell do I not have a deal? I swear this thing is a real dog. I play it fan off. The cowards that they can't feel. The wife try to console me like it's coming, baby, chill. She don't understand. I'm the only one that's real. I remember the 3rd grade. Them kids, they had waves. I had them BDBs. You know that Zimbabwean bread. So they do shade till your boy hit the stage. Press play and all the chicks was like, yeah. While boys was moving bricks, I was moving chicks. If she gave me calculus, gave her a mouthful of it. Heat rose to this thing, boy, I bet on myself. Dripping sauce, probably need that soul glow on the couch. I'm a star, I should be on top of the Christmas tree. I'm a star. Why you think these wise men follow me? Even though it was crazy till it started raining. Bruh, I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingatadzi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa My hitters don't die and real hitters gon' shine and my people gon' rise 'Cause we're born to win, yeah. I ain't saying what I'm saying
Why be Frank Lucas when you can be Howard Schultz? Big head dope Dre's with me if I smoke. Now I ain't mean to insult, baby. If I don't agree with either party, where the hell I cast my vote, baby? Cream rises to the top, and that's true. But I found out that she floats too. Now I'm in this successful with rappers who think mumbling is good. And I'm the hater, why? 'Cause I don't mess with none of you.
Yo, so you know what's crazy is we have Ibrahim, who's our intern here. Today's the 2nd day. Ibrahim from Uganda. And it came over here, and it was like what it hit. And I told you when I first heard this song, I said, one, if you from the continent or been to the continent, when you hear it, it just drops. And then so that's me and Ibrahim. Can we go wide? We gonna get the teacher perspective on because she was over here about any thoughts? Hold the mic up.
well, I think that the music goes right to your soul. I remember when I was in South Africa and on every corner there were groups that were singing, and you just had to stop and sit down and listen. It was, it is soul. It does go to your soul. And that's a beautiful song. And those are beautiful children. And where is the school?
You know, interesting enough, that was TT Minor, which is the school where, when I talked about in the song I talked about being made fun of as a kid. When I came back from Zimbabwe, I had an accent and my hair was nappy. And so that's the school where I was actually made fun of. But the interesting thing about it is when we were shooting the video, it's now called like the Seattle School for Immigrants or something. And I was like, whoa, like that's crazy to be shooting a video at the same place where this same thing happened, but now it's a school essentially to make people like myself comfortable in the Northwest. So that was crazy for me.
Right. A lot of changes, but TT Minor was in the core, in the center, back in the 60s and 70s. I'm old enough to remember that.
Yeah. You see, now look at this. So this is real interesting because people do those unboxing shows and unvideo shows, and it's one kind of whatever. So you have school teacher over here, and you got young Ibrahim, the intern, over there, and you got me here in the middle, as well as Jake Grabrot. And it's like, man, I think everybody's like, wow. So tell us more about the music, man. Tell us all about it. Here's the single. What's the follow-up with the album? What's all this stuff happening?
Yeah. So thank you to the Converge family and everybody over there, Mr. Nielsen, to Ibrahim. The music is coming. The album is coming in June. So I'm trying to put all of the pieces together right now. We're looking at a summertime release. That's the hope, when you're independent, anything can happen. But I want to shout out so many people who made this video happen. To the beautiful kids of Seattle who came. My guy Marlon at Blessed and Thankful. My godson Juice is in the video. He plays me. So to have your godson play you, that was kind of dope. But in addition to that, we have a Real Grip. Atwanya, his company, is the one who directed the video. I have Supreme. We got the Kango and the Boombox from DJ Supreme. It was just so many people that came together. Obana, who has Unite clothing. I got to wear his shirt in there. My guy, Al Snow. So much. The town came together to make the video happen. So I appreciate everyone for that. And just look out for the album that's coming. Right now, though, go to Spotify or wherever you stream and add Dre's Born to Win. Add that to your playlist. Ride to it over and over and over. And can I do one feel good, bro, before I go? I know you guys gonna.
Yeah, we got you. I got Besa in the green room, but I think it's Friday though, so I know we're so in love over here. So
give me 1 second.
Yeah, which one you got?
Euro stepping. If you don't know about this, Euro stepping in Seattle, there is a show called Euro Stepping. Run by one of Franklin's own, because Franklin makes the best businessmen in the world. So shout out to FQ. But Franklin's own Alvin Snow has a show where he interviews European basketball players. And if you guys know, basketball is going global, and he's got the best basketball players from around the world. Yeah, there's NBA guys, but you'll get a chance to learn about Gordon Slashovich or some guy you never heard of over in Slovenia. And you'll turn around and a guy will be in the NBA. But I just wanted to shout that out because it's one of Seattle's own. And go look it up. Euro.
And that's Alvin Snow. And I thought we had a motion graphic for it, and I apologize that I don't. I got all these other ones that you sent over here, and that's the one that we should have right there. And and this is a big deal because, people see Converge and we're out doing our thing and everything else. People should also realize people like Al Snow doing a thing, connected globally and telling these stories globally and these stories about basketball and everything else. Tell people again where they can catch up with Eurostepping on Instagram.
So if you go just to IG, just look up look up at Eurostepping. It's right there. And it's the same thing on Facebook, Eurostepping. Check it out. I just feel good about it. I ain't even like, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You asked what I feel good about. That's what I feel good about.
And that's the thing is, do me a favor because, we had talked before about connecting with Al Snow, and it was also like it was protests and some everything else.
Yeah.
And so it didn't happen, man. And I know that's your people, man. We would love to support Al's content. We would love to support Eurostepping right here on Converge Media platform. You know what I'm saying? I'm always looking forward and not backwards. So I know you busy, big rap star and everything, but put that on your list to connect the dots with me and Al Snow, man. Let's see how Converge Media can work together with him.
It's done. Consider it done. My man.
All right. Good stuff, Dre. You gotta go wide here. So Teach Nielsen can also say goodbye, but we want to say thank you, Dre's, man, so much. Thank you, man. The video, you send us the full thing. And do you mind if for the next few days, all next week, we're playing this snippet that you sent us?
Come on, man. Now we're talking. Let's Converge way. Let's converge.
Ibrahim from Uganda, he ain't gonna have it no other way. He's like, Bro, we're going to break. Born to win.
My brother, Ibrahim. Oh.
He's like, is born to win. God bless you, Dre's. You keep up the good work, okay?
Peace and God bless y'all.
All right, we'll be right back, y'all. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Yeah, I like her too. Welcome back to the Morning Update Show. My name is Omari Salisbury. It's Feel Good Friday. And we just heard from Dre's and man, I love it. You like that song, Ibra? It's Born to Win, huh? That's like your joy, right? You know what I'm saying? Especially, it's like, man, it's Ibra from Uganda. It's like, man, it's in the DNA. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't realize that, living and working on the continent of Africa, sitting over here in America, we always think like, oh, our poor brothers in Africa, this and that. You bump into some babies over there, baby, and they really do be walking to school 4 miles every direction and this and that. But little babies on the continent, no, they was born to win. It's really weird because in America, we have to be reprogrammed of our self-worth and our self-value. And you go to the continent and you bump into young people in abject poverty and hope seems so diminished, but they know I'm born to win.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Those schools are inspirational.
Yeah, it's something that's dope. Speaking of inspirational, I got my buddy in the green room over here, and we're pressing all the buttons ourselves, me and Jake Grabbride. So if we're blowing it right now, you can definitely blame us. All your D'Alessandro will be back on Monday. But let me go ahead and bring in Besa Gordon. Oh, that catch it. What's that? Stretching, yoga?
Yeah,
hello?
let me finish. Yes, you caught me in the middle of the stretch. Let me finish.
What's up, Besa? How are you?
I'm good. I'm wide awake. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good. So, Besa, be my elementary school teacher, Barbara Nielsen.
Hi, Besa.
Hey, girl, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you.
She was telling me on the break is that she's already a big fan of yours.
Yeah,
I know that's right.
that's right.
I don't know how you found me, but hey.
No, and she watches all the shows and watches. I mean, you know how you be at times. So we're gonna do two things here. First, we're gonna talk about the rewind with Besa, and we'll talk about that. And the second is since we have my elementary school teacher here, we're going to throw an open question to you if you might have a question for her about me from back in the day. But we're going to start first with tomorrow at 2:00. I've just put this up here on the screen, and it looks like you've got J Loud tomorrow at 2 p.m. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so tomorrow at 2 p.m. I will be chit-chatting with J Loud at about 2:30. He's going to be in LA. So we're going to do another interview with him probably in a few months where he can be in person. But he is going to be the next feature on New at 10 on Q93.3. So I definitely wanted to get him in and on the show before the music airs next week. Believe it or not, I want to make sure I get this right. He just signed a music deal with Elysium Records, which is a subsidy of Atlantic Records underneath Warner Music Group. So he's doing pretty good. He has some really good R&B music, but he also raps. So we're going to talk to him at 2:30. And then, of course, the first half of the show will be me, giving you guys a little recap of what went down this week.
All right. And so speaking of that, this Wednesday at 10 o'clock, this was the very first installment of what is new at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Macintosh.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Macintosh, it was dope. Macintosh came here, and this was the first time I've ever seen this in this studio, and it doesn't happen too often. Macintosh came here with Party to Go. Came here with a whole backpack full of like alcohol. You know,
it was like a gift that kept on giving.
And but here was the thing that was really dope. And so he had whatever, he came with some stuff, and I'm like, everybody here was like, nah, we're just shooting and leaving. And I've seen people come with their stuff and pack it up. Mm-hmm. He was like, yo, man, let me leave all this here for whoever artist, whenever it might be in the future. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Who might want to pop something. It's all good. And it was a whole nother vibe from Macintosh that we haven't seen. And then I listened to the music, and then I heard what was the song that was there on Wednesday?
Love Me the Same.
Yeah, Love Me the Same. And then listen to it, and it's like, you off to a good start. You know what I'm saying, with this music that you're promoting every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Yeah, my whole thing is, yes, there are artists out here that I know personally. There are artists that have come to my events. There are artists that I have my phone number. But if there's someone else that has a better song, I'm going to go with that, period. So for me, I think it's very important to make sure that when I'm picking these songs, I'm setting the bar really, really high. So that way people know, like, this is what your music needs to sound like. This is what you need to strive for. This is kind of what I'm looking like. It's not that it's one sound. It's really the quality and the vibe that the music puts out.
All right. Good stuff. And so this is tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here where we watch the Morning Update show. And you're actually going to have super director Aya D'Alessandro like today.
I was going to say that.
And we're trying to figure it out. But tomorrow, actually for the first time for your show, you get the big boss tomorrow directing your show.
Yeah, I'll make sure I'm real cute.
All right, so we go to the wide, but before we let you go over here, I just have my elementary school teacher, Barbara Nilsson, right here. Do you have any question about me for Barbara Nilsson?
Yeah, this is a fun one. What was, and I don't even know if you're going to remember this, but whatever, we're going to try it out. What was your first impression of Omari when you met him in school?
Wow.
Well, that was when he was in kindergarten.
Yes.
And that first impression was along with his mom, who was instrumental in my coming to Summit K-12 in the first place. I think I had to pass muster with her. And then she decided it was going to be okay for Omari to be in my class. And I just remember him looking up, not scared, but excited. And he was kind of a wild child, but that was the kind that I liked the best, actually, because there's some personality there. So that was the beginning of me being his elementary teacher, almost the only one from kindergarten through 5th grade. There was only one other year that I didn't have him in my class.
Wow.
So if there's anything wrong with him, it's probably my fault.
I get, we say this about the motion graphics. I have to say it about myself. I guess I was handcrafted, huh?
You kind of were.
There it is. All right, Besa, tomorrow, 2 p.m., everybody come check out the Rewind with Besa. As usual, keep up the good work, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Nice to meet you, Besa.
You too.
Yeah, that's my buddy. Yeah, Base is so cool, huh?
She is cool.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and for the rest of the show, it's me and you.
Uh-oh.
All right, you're watching the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the city. I did it for the love. I did it for the people. I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie. This practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. My name is Omari Solisbury, and man, what an amazing guest host we have today. My elementary school teacher, Barbara Nilsson. And you see, everybody, it's just crazy because everybody rocks your vibe. You're sitting there with a rap star, Dre's, and he's like, hey, what's up, teacher? You sit there with Besa. Besa's like, hey, what's happening? Huh?
Right. You're never too old to have fun.
I know that. I know that's right. I mean, we go back decades, so we was never too young to have fun either.
That's right. We did have some fun.
Yeah, no, this is let me see. I'm gonna upload it over here. Oh, actually, I don't even have to upload it. We haven't got to this segment yet, but let me just put this up on the screen.
That's so cute.
Look at this, everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is I'm gonna have to get some of this stuff off screen because I'm gonna start crying here. But that's me, and that's Barbara Nilsson almost 40 years ago.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
More than 40, huh? Look at that. And imagine, oh man, it's amazing. Like you never forgot about me, huh? We're gonna get to that part.
Okay.
All right. So right now, though, what I want to talk about is, do you visit the the Seattle Art Museum?
Yes, not as often as I'd like, but I
COVID,
want to
all
go
that stuff,
to
right?
this exhibit. That's the Jacob Lawrence exhibit.
Yeah, Jacob Lawrence is there right now,
and
right?
Isn't there a local artist, Barbara?
There is.
Yes, right.
It's a local artist there. It's a lot going on. I think Jacob Lawrence ends in the May 23rd. We'll see here. We got a video here. You know, it's Feel Good Friday. And I talked to Priya Frank, me and Jake Gravbrot. We actually talked to Priya Frank. And Priya is the director of EDI. You know, it's the acronyms. It's DEI, EDI. I think all the letters mean the same thing, but they're just arranged differently. That's equity, diversity, and inclusion. Yeah, that stuff.
See, my mind, every time I see an E, goes to education.
Oh, okay. See, because you're a teacher, you're an educator. Right. So this is equity, diversity, and inclusion at Seattle Art Museum. And I'm gonna tell you, it was really dope. I'm gonna play this video here. A lot of times when people send their EDI or DEI person to Converge, it's like, oh man, it's really stiff. And it's like, well, you know, section 3, paragraph 5 of our whatever, our board agreement, we want this, we want to do stuff for people. And you'd be like, but let me tell you, Priya, Seattle Art Museum, Priya is rocking. Priya is the business, and also Priya Frank, she's been over there for years. So it was almost like one of those situations where it was like, here's the position and the time is right, but here's the right person who's already in our ecosystem who's rocking with it. You know what I'm saying? Let me play this right here. This is for Feel Good Friday. This is Priya Frank. She's director of EDI over at the Seattle Art Museum, talking about the Seattle Art Museum. And then also she touches base there on the Jacob Lawrence exhibit and a few other exhibits that are happening. All right, so I'm joined now by Priya Frank, who is the Director of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion at the Seattle Art Museum. Our neighbors just a few blocks up. What's up, Priya?
Good to see you. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for being here and adding so much vibrance to the set.
Oh, thank you.
Like you out here blinking it. I see Jay Grabrod has the wide angle. Look at these shoes.
Hey.
Got the custom kicks on and everything.
Thank
you need to come hang out with us more often.
I would love to. I've been cooped up for a year or so had to get dressed. You know?
Well, you're looking sharp.
Thank you.
So let's jump right into it.
Basically, what I get to do is I get to be a convener, a communicator of all of the different work that's happening around equity and anti-racism work at the museum. So what's really powerful is that, from the top, it's definitely communicated that this is everyone's job. This is not just my job, but that this is all of our work. And in order for this to be effective and impactful right now and long into the future, we all have a responsibility. And so I get to be the convener, the communicator, and sort of a conduit for a lot of the different initiatives that are happening at the museum. So it could look like, working with leadership, coaching, consulting in different ways. It could be working on, communication to the public. It could be working with our curators around an exhibition. And again, building out those community partnerships, getting to talk with amazing folks like yourself about the work that we're doing, and just, getting to be a connector around this work, both internally and externally.
Right. And why is equity, diversity, inclusion, why is it? I mean, I guess I know why in a sense, but you just assume that museums, it's like everybody, we almost need to take this lens across everything in society and kind of adjust our lens. But when it comes to museums, why is EDI important?
The whole intent around museums is to serve the public and to be, preserving and telling stories and history and perspectives, whether it's, cultural experiences, lived experiences. So it's really essential that we make sure that we're using this lens in every different facet, whether, when you're coming in the door and the folks that greet you, to the art that you're seeing on the walls, to the programming that we build around our exhibitions to create dialogue, conversation, and connection. And so it has to be a central point and the driving sort of foundation upon which we build everything else. Our mission is to connect art to life. And so we want to make sure that everybody is represented within those stories that are being told and that folks are able to tell those stories themselves and relate to it.
What's going on right now at the SAM?
So glad you asked. So we have the Jacob Lawrence American Struggle exhibition happening. And that is an incredibly powerful exhibit around the retelling of American history. Tickets are going so fast. And it's here till May 23rd. So I would suggest folks get their tickets right now for that. We also have an incredible exhibition by the amazing heralded Barbara Earl Thomas, who's a local artist here. And that is just a really powerful exhibition. She uses cut paper and glass and lighting, and depicts quite a few folks and kids from our community. So you might see a few familiar faces within some of her pieces. And then also, excitedly enough, we're reopening the Asian Art Museum in Volunteer Park. That was our museum that had been closed for renovations for about 3 years. And we had just reopened in February, and then COVID happened. So we haven't been able to be open much, but we are opening this weekend for our members, and then at the end of May to the general public. So that's really exciting. And what I love about that is the whole sort of premise around the museum has shifted from geographic sort of categories to thematic categories. And so you'll get to see, spirituality or fashion from lots of different parts of Asia, but how they're connected. And I think that really just showcases our connectivity and community so much more than the separateness of location. So I'm really excited about that. And then this summer, we have our Monet exhibition that's coming, which, obviously Monet is a huge name, but this tells the story of Monet kind of along their path. as a struggling artist and sort of trying to make it, and how, trying to eat and kind of trying to like realize their vision. And so that is something that I think a lot of us can relate to right now. And so I'm really excited for that exhibition as well. So lots coming up, also tons of virtual programming as well. But yeah, so just a couple of things,
I see. All right. So let me ask you, you're big on museums. So you heard Priya there talk about Seattle Art Museum and what efforts they're making as far as equity, inclusion, and diversity. Thank you. But also the art itself. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that art is a big unifier, art and music. So it's not surprising that the Seattle Art Museum, all museums, make it a focus to make their art and their exhibits reflective of all of the communities. And certainly in our community, Jacob Lawrence personifies that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was looking at this video earlier this morning, and I remembering you were going to be on here today, and hearing that name, Jacob Lawrence, it was like, it's already like, okay, that painting that's right there, or that I'm not sure, it's not a painting.
Mural?
Well, it's just right there to your left. But the one thing that we get a lot of is people in the comments say that it's Jacob Lawrence-esque.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? They say it's Jacob Lawrence. Can you put her? There you go. There you go. That picture right there. Yeah. So you can put up there.
We think of Jacob Lawrence as our artist because he and his wife they lived here for a long period of time. So in all of my years of teaching, Jacob Lawrence's work was something that we spent time on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
Like I remember, this is wild. Hey, listen, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we say quick, we're gonna take a merch break. That's the quick break. And when we come back, we're gonna talk about Little O back in the elementary school classroom. You're watching the Morning Update Show. All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. So here we are, the last segment here, and it's Teacher Appreciation Week, here across the country,
all over the country.
You know what I'm saying? And so somebody somewhere got a teacher they appreciate. I
hope so.
Sometimes people are like, I might not appreciate all of them. There's always the one to appreciate. Right. And so I knew you're coming in here today, and people have heard me talk about you from the beginning of the Morning Update Show. And I just thought that I would bring up some photos here, and these are photos that you sent over.
That's
some
right.
photos here, and here's a first one. Actually, let me do this first,
okay?
Because our intern has gotten back here very speedy. Go ahead. Let's hand these over.
Now I'm gonna cry.
And for Teacher Appreciation Week, fresh from the Pike Place Market.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
They just wrapped them up for you this morning. You know what I'm saying? Let me put this picture up here. It says Barb's Core, and this is 1984.
Something like
that.
that.
This picture right here.
We called classrooms cores at Summit K-12. And in this group, if you can find Omai, he's over there grinning someplace. This class and others, but this one in particular, has some amazing human beings in it. And I had the privilege of teaching many of them in kindergarten and first. and I didn't have them in second, but I had them in third, fourth, and fifth. And we had multi-age classes. So I really got to know all of these students, or most of these students, and their families. Ibrahim, do you see Miss Herda in there? I'm looking for her. Okay, I'll let you find her because she hadn't changed all that much. So, Miss Herda, if there's any chance you're out there, you have a student as an intern at Converge. I love these students.
This is wild.
Yep.
Yeah, and there I am. I'm up there
There
in
you
the top right. This is the
right.
second from last there in the top right corner. Man, it was. I'm glad that it was real emotional before the show, which allows us to laugh and smile now during the show. This is real emotional looking at some of these photos. And here, this was now just to give reference, when we talk about Summit K-12 and we talk about our playground and this and that, people know that now as the NAM building, and they know it as Jimi Hendrix Park.
Right.
But as a kid, that was Summit K-12, and that was the Summit K-12 building and the Summit K-12 playfield, which is now the Northwest African American Museum and Apartments in Jimi Hendrix Park.
It was Coleman.
Well, Coleman.
And then it's the Coleman building.
Coleman
and then
building.
Summit K-12 moved into it in whatever year. You've got those years better than I do, but
maybe.
Right. That was my first, I think the second year it was in the Coleman building was my first year, and you were in kindergarten.
Man, these are some days. And so this is the playfield. Like I said, this is now Jimi Hendrix Park, but this was the Summit K-12 playfield right here, huh?
That playscape was, I think, built by parents, and every class for years had their class pictures taken on this playscape. Many of the students that were in the previous photo are also in this photo, but this is your, I'm going to say this might be your 5th grade year. And if you look really closely, you can't find Omai because he's either not there that day or he's hiding underneath, which would not be too surprising.
I'm sure I was there. You know what I'm saying? I might have just been in the cut.
I don't know. I think you were back underneath, running around hiding or whatever.
And we've got this one right here.
There he is. That's the iconic Omai picture.
Oh, wow.
Born to Win.
Wow. That's
Absolutely Born to Win. The picture that I wished I could have found but couldn't is you at the typewriter in probably 4th grade. Probably 4th grade. You were at a typewriter because getting you to write actually with a pencil was difficult. You just didn't really want to do it. But once we got you a typewriter, you were more inclined. And I believe that you're still doing that.
Let me tell you something, and let me tell our viewing audience something. Is like, I hope and wish that like young people today have the interaction with a teacher like Barbara Nelson that I did when I was a young kid. Like, if y'all appreciate what we're doing here today, just know it ain't start today. Like, you guys are seeing seeds blossom today that were planted decades and decades ago. And, you know, I tell you, I'm going to cry. I think that's out the window.
That goes both ways, though.
I think that what people don't realize is like, man, we ain't have a lot. We ain't have a lot. And, you know, and it's funny because the word alternative school is different. It's weird. I was placed around these days or whatever. Man, our school was dope. Summit. And then when you look right now, you look at some of the people who went to school with Summit, what they're doing right now in Seattle, across America and across the world, you're like, whoa, you know, definitely. But it was being fortunate enough to have a teacher who cared. And dog, it's been 40 years
That's right.
and we still rocking with each other. I mean, imagine that.
That's right.
And that's the impact and everything else. And you're right. I remember it. It was a big deal. I mean, like, man, I wasn't easy to deal with as a kid, man. And it was a lot going on. And we ain't have much. All we had was a mama's commitment.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Son, do your best. And my mama's passion, I'm so fortunate. My mama's passion was matched equally in the schoolroom by yours.
Well, we were definitely a team, and we needed to be from time to time if we're keeping it real. But the payoff is huge. And you talk about it being decades. That decades-long connection is just as important from my direction going to yours too, because I talk to teachers all the time, and they are amazed that I have as many connections with former students as I do, and they all know your name. And that's, to me, that's just part of what it's all about. And I hope for teachers, young teachers now, I hope that they are able to establish those bonds and keep them for as many years as we have, because it's special. There's no question. It is absolutely special. And, you know, if we had 2 or 3 shows, we could talk about all kinds of experiences that we had, because we did some crazy things.
Yeah.
But that was in the day when we didn't have to be worried about so many stipulations on what we did. And we were in a program that encouraged us to be creative. And so we would take the boat over to Blake Island, but we didn't just go over there for lunch and come back. We took all our camping gear and we stayed overnight and came back the next day.
Right.
So crazy stuff like that, but fun.
You know, I tell people that I like to say I grew up in this golden age here in Seattle, because when people consider multiculturalism and multi-whatever, diversity and BIPOC and all these things, it was just our life then. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's like me, I move flawlessly and seamlessly through all of these other cultures and everything, because as a small kid there at Summit K-12. You know what I'm saying?
And the 48 bus.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And people should know. We're talking about the 48 used to go from the CD all the way to the Ballard Locks,
right.
man, and everywhere in between. It was the longest route in Seattle, right?
That's right. And there's a lot of culture between Summit K-12 and the Ballard Locks.
Is exactly. You know, we would be in there, and I mean, now you can define it, because now there's definitions. But as a kid, looking at it from today's lens, it was like I have friends that were Vietnamese and Laotian and Japanese and Chinese and so many different, represent so many different Native American cultures and everything else. I remember going to potlatches and powwows and everything else. So that was just who we were. Like today, by today's standards, there's all these metrics and check boxes and everything else. Well, but it was like years ago, it was like, man, this is just a crew. This was in the class.
If we had a letter from a parent saying it's okay to go, we went. We didn't have, I mean, we didn't have the, maybe there's safety issues. And I'm sure that safety is an issue to a greater degree. I know it is for my grandkids. So, but I'm grateful to have been able to do what we did, like we did, as freely as we did when you were in elementary school, because it was powerful, not only hopefully for you all, but for me too. It was how much, what can we do that's going to be even more creative, more fun, more impactful the next time than what we did this time.
Man, it's crazy. Well, I would just say this is that, man, the impact that you had on my life, that you continue to have on my life, people should know. It's like, I keep it real with our audience, as you know. It's like a few years ago, I was sitting out here and I was discouraged, and I ain't know what's next, and I don't know how things are gonna go. I'm trying to get this Converge thing off the ground. It's not really moving as much or whatever. And here it is. My elementary school teacher sends me a message. Says, "Hey, we're gonna go to a book signing. Let me take you to an event." Which ended up being real dope. But the bigger point is that like that intuition from decades ago, it never left you. And you know, at that moment in time, I really needed somebody to be like, stay after it, oh. It's gonna happen for you. And I remember there, you were like, you're warm. You're somewhere in this space, you're warm. You're like, I don't know if you need to go write a book, if you need to go do something, but you're in this space. Stay encouraged. And less than a year later, the morning update show and everything else, you've never stopped believing in me.
Well, and I've said it to you a lot of times in the last year. You are right now doing what you have been meant to do. You are where you're meant to be, doing what you're meant to do. And I couldn't be more proud.
Man. Barbara Nilsson, this is the first appearance. I know you were supposed to be on here a long time ago, and COVID and all this other stuff. It's been a while, but man, I hope that you'll please come back.
I would love to come back. We have stories to
So
tell.
we got a lot. We got a lot of stories, and you know what I'm saying? I can't get out of here as well again without giving a big shout out to Mama Walden.
That's right.
You know, and
your mom is a big influence in my life too.
Man,
She taught me a lot. Still does.
Mama she said, I mean, these parents who can't make it to the PTA meeting, Mama used to ride that 48 bus and make it to them PTA meetings. I mean, like, I'm the benefit, and anybody that's benefited from Converge, know that you're the benefit from people who, man, they word was they bond. They just made it happen, you know. So, real special moment for us here. Give me the why, Jake. I always say this when Treyana is sitting here. Man, you're here today. Before I let you go, any last words for our audience?
Thank a teacher today. Thank anybody that your kids or your grandkids are spending time with. This has been the most challenging year on record, I'm quite sure. So all of those teachers, all of my former colleagues, former students, some of whom are teachers, which is very cool. Ibrahim has a teacher that was in those pictures. Thank a teacher today. Give teachers as the kind of kudos that I'm getting today. I promise we'll all be crying.
That's dope. That's real. And that's great advice. Thank a teacher today. And I thank you today.
Thank you.
We're going to get out of here, man. What an amazing week. Feel Good Friday. As usual, I want to remind everybody, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. And until tomorrow, not even tomorrow, I guess until Monday at 11 a.m. Peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth in heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the president's brought us, facing the rising sun.